Hi, everybody. This is Joe Styler at domainacademy.com. Thanks for joining us again today. I want to go over our tools. We have a unique tool set that helps you to be able to discover and value domain names so that you can make wise investment decisions. Always do your own research, of course, and these tools will help you to do some research. So if you go to domainacademy.com/tools, it will take you to this screen. Make sure you're logged in. And as long as you have Domain Discount Club Pro, you can access these tools. We have 10 proprietary tools right now, and I am going to start out by using our Afternic Advanced Search tool. We just made a new update at the back end, and we were able to increase speed and accuracy on the tool. And I'm going to take you through a new feature that we also released and show you how it works. This is basically a giant filter to search through Afternic's listings. At any given time, we've got more than 20 million names for sale on the aftermarket through Afternic. That's a lot of names to be able to dig through and find hidden gems. So I'm going to show you how you can filter that down. This current filter brought that 20-something million down to over 11,000. We can see that in the current search. You can sort by results, and what you can do is also add extra filters to narrow that down even more. So for this search, just as a demonstration, what I did was I looked for priced inventory. And I have no terms, no keywords, no searches that I have here. You could use category, animals, colors, nouns, verbs, things that are important in many facets of domain name valuation. So we've got a lot of filters. And today what I want to show you is this new one that we added, which is fast transfer. What fast transfer is, if you check this, then the results will come back with only names that are eligible for fast transfer. What that means is that if you buy the name, it should instantly pop into your account. And by instantly, give it a little bit of leeway. It looks like we put automatically. There are some checks that need to go in place to make sure everything is good, but it should seamlessly move to your account very quickly and easily. If it's fast transfer enabled, that means that the seller has opted in for the name to transfer upon sale. So that is just another way for you to know that there should be less hiccups and you should get the name that you buy. What I did was I put a max price of $400. I wanted to have a minimum TLDs taken of 25 and exclude hyphens, numbers, and special characters. And like I said, it came back with 11,000. We could check TLDs. You could go with the popular ones. We could see if there's COM, IO, AI, whatever you want to pick from here. We can further filter. But just going through this, I'm going to pick one to use as an example. Keto is very popular. You could see KFC, a nice short 3-letter, but it's an info. So what I'm looking for here is just trying to find anything that might be a good name to be able to use. And here's one that I landed on because I think this hits a lot of the other tools that we have. Patel.info, $211. It's been registered for 5 years. You can see that it's taken in over 210 extensions. And what we're going to do is we're going to go look at some of these other tools. And what I'm using here is called the Domain Explorer, and this will show us those extensions. So you can click to this. Put Patel in. You can see it's taken in 223 exact match, but in other TLDs, so DE, org, XYZ, etc. And you can see there's 21,000 other words to the left of the dot that contain Patel. So you can see Patel's Neil Patel, Charlie Patel, Patel family. You get the idea, right? These all contain Patel. So keep in mind we've got a .info. So somebody would have to try and upgrade to a .info. And one of the things that you can look at is you could just click and see what the website resolves to very easily to see if these are really in use or not. We take a guess to say what's in use, what's not in use, so it should not resolve, you can see, and then what might be for sale or parked. So you can see that this is currently for sale right now. We just saw that on our tool. So what you want to look for is how many other people are using this exact name, and can any of these ancillary names, two-word names, would they maybe want to upgrade, right? We've got a lot of personal names, Dev Patel, Patel Group, Dr. Patel, that might want to just go with Patel. So let's take a look at another tool we have, which is how many people. What's the total population that might be interested in Patel? How many people tool, we could put first, last name, or any combination there. And we can see that there's almost 230,000 people in the US alone that have the name Patel. And it is the 95th most popular last name in the country. That to me says that there are a tremendous amount of people who might want this name as a vanity URL. They might want to have patel.info as an email address or a website for their family, right? This is a lot. And this is not even counting India, where Patel originates. And with 1 billion people, I'm interested in looking on Google to find out how many other people in the world are named Patel. This is a great start. And to get even more information to dig in, you can see I did what's called a research snapshot, which is here for patel.info. And this is going to give us a ton of information. It's going to show us at a glance how many exact match searches people look for in a month. So about 12,000 are looking exactly for Patel. They might be looking for Patel group or other things with this broad search. And then you can see other important things. We already saw these in that other tool broken out. One of the things that I want to look at is, this name's old, so it looks like it's been off the market for 25 years. That means it's been unavailable for people to be able to use. And you can see that there are many, many companies in the world using some form of Patel, and there's 217 startups using Patel. So when we look at that, again, this is a .info, so you have to take some of this with a grain of salt. So one of the things that I like to look at is here's the TLDs that are active. We saw that on the other tools. We don't have to dig into that. You could click from here as well. But I like to see the startups. So you could take a look at these and you can click and it will bring you over to Crunchbase and tell you more about that particular startup. So you can see that there are many companies that are using Patel that maybe would be interested in using patel.info, right? That's a lot of companies. We got, what was the number again? 40,000, right? And then 217 startups that might want a good name. And one of the other things that I look at is what other types of options do buyers have if they wanted to buy my patel.info, what other names could they potentially buy instead? So you can see that patel.xyz, they want 70,000 for MD, 150,000. So what are the options? Right now, this info is for $200, and it looks like it's the second cheapest after software, right? But info is kind of a good generic name compared to some of these. I think patel.t is definitely not as good, and patel.bio, not great compared to .info, right? The same as the secondary one. So I think that there's room to move up on the price. And if I was someone who's coming to buy Patel and I saw these options and I had maybe $1,000 to spend, patel.info might look very attractive to me compared to these other options, which are very expensive, or, a different type of ancillary domain name that I might not be interested in. Patel.software, that really limits me to, or work limits me to certain verticals, right? Where patel.info is kind of open. So I have a lot of options. This gives me a ton of information around the name. And this is one of the ways that you could use our Afternic Advanced Search to be able to narrow down names that you might be interested in. You could save them to favorites just by clicking on that. And then you could buy now, and again, since this is a fast transfer, you don't have to worry about the name being available or popping into your account or the seller having to log in and manually transfer the name. This new fast transfer checkmark will let you know that these names should be delivered to your account pretty seamlessly. This is not the best name that's out there that you could find with this, but it's a great example of how you would use our tools to be able to research a name and see if it makes sense for you to buy. Thanks, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends if you found this valuable.